Welcome to the downside. This is a Patreon exclusive, but as we always do, we're going to keep a little bit public to wet your beak a little, tempt you into the waters. We had a big bump in Patreon subscribers.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Yeah, we would love to know. Like, we've never had this influx before, and I thought it's one of two things. It's either Matt's episode did very well, or it's because at the beginning of the last Patreon, you were about to talk shit about a comedian. I said, don't say them until after.
Okay, yeah.
So
wait, we should do something right now.
We
should do something like that again. But what could we entice this time?
I always do the thing where I say, at the end of this, we're going to suck each other off.
Oh, my God. No, something real. Something real.
That should be the highest tier. We talked about, 500,000 we said? We said 500,000 patrons.
No way, because with tax and stuff, it's like, I think that's a big thing in our friendship that we got to have millions involved.
How much money for you to throw away this friendship, though?
Forever?
Yeah, I don't want to know.
No, it would, because I think we could be secret friends. I don't know who would be making the rule that we can't see each other.
Just some sicko.
Oh,
Elon Musk goes like, God, Marco's always taking shots at me
He's
online.
gonna monitor he can monitor our phones and things like that.
Yeah.
So it would have to be like, we'd really have to be secretive. Like it'd be like risking it all.
That's
to
not how
hang
these
out.
games work. You're like, okay, but we don't follow the rules.
Okay.
Good, I'm glad to know you wouldn't do it.
No,
That's nice
no.
to hear.
Oh yeah,
Russell. I wanted to fix this light really quick.
Oh yeah.
Watch this video, guys. A lot of fun physical comedy on here. So I was like, I want to watch this video of this impression, but I said, already posted online. Surely that means Russell will have seen it. I know he looks at my social media content. What's your favorite crowdwork video of mine this year?
This year?
Any?
No, you have had some good ones.
You shared one.
What? I shared one, yeah. What was that one, though? No, listen, you're asking me, like, you share so many things, and I genuinely think a lot of them are funny. So that's hard to pick just, like, one
What
thing.
percentage?
Listen, okay, you're also catching me off of a holiday where I generally was my phone plugged in. I wasn't on social media as much.
You've been gone. You've been absent. I've been upset.
Really? I felt like I sent you messages and things here and there. I sent you a fun Trump photo. Remember?
What was your Trump photo that
I
you
sent you this photo. I was in a store. Oh God, self-tapes.
Wait, that's a picture of you with him. Oh, can we play your self-tape on the screen?
No, my God, no. This. Look at. Remember I sent
Oh
you
yes,
this?
you did send me that.
It was in a store in Texas. It said, "All I want for Christmas is Trump back in the White House." It was coffee.
Coffee.
It was a coffee, and it was just Trump smiling in the Santa outfit.
It probably is good coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love. That's what you do. You feed that. You give a cup of coffee to a liberal, and you're like, "You just drink. I want Trump back in the coffee light." So Charlene Kay, comedian.
Yes.
Singer. She did my show, The Silver Lining, and said kind of just was like, at the end I kind of going to do this like impression thing of you, and I really thought it would be quick.
Yeah.
I thought it would just be, I had no idea what it was. And usually Silver Lining, listen, I'm not the most fun before shows, during shows, or after shows, or anytime.
Yeah.
But like, especially during the shows, I'm just like, I'm looking at my notes. And so,
you hadn't
she
gone
said,
yet.
No, I started. I started, and then,
yeah.
and so I said, she kind of said, like, yeah, maybe come on the stage, and then later was like, the stage too small. Maybe you can come sit in the audience, and I'm like, okay. I was looking forward to it, but I really had no idea. I had no idea what was going on. It could be a song, but so we have this video. She had me sit on stage, and we can make this full screen, and yeah.
I wrote this joke, but I want to do it in the style of Gianmarco Soresi. I need a wall. I did a show last night. I did a show for all Asians. And they were so polite. And they were so quiet. And I wanted to roast them. I wanted to roast them so bad. But it was very difficult. Because everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that roasting white people is a walk in the park. But roasting an Asian person, that is a park in the walk.
Then she said, "Good, good, good."
Oh, that's so funny.
So it was it was
very
pretty
good
cool.
impression. Yeah.
It was yeah, it was like the moment where you're like, oh, I'm seen, or I'm like a thing.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like, oh, my mannerisms have their own life. That's cool. That's a very nice
it's very
feeling.
cool.
I remember Seinfeld when he was like, different scales, but they did an SNL sketch where like he walks in and everyone's like, "What's the deal with blah blah blah?"
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay, that's the brand.
Yeah.
Do you think you could do a better impression of me?
No. That's very good. That's why I'm not good at impressions. Like when I see someone that I'm like, oh, I didn't know that's a thing. Like I couldn't have articulated all those kind of things, like the hair thing and but when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that is a thing. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
I also think it's so multifaceted because there's mannerisms, there's noticing of mannerisms and isolating them down. There's topic matter of being like, I'm gonna make like I'm trying to make a race joke, but like in my own way.
Yes.
Then it's like the structure of it, like is a twisty thing.
Yeah.
And it's just the full package of an
Yeah,
impression.
it's
I mean,
very
that's the
good.
thing with the stand-up impression. It's like you also have to do the joke.
Yeah.
Like if I ever did, the only one I would try to learn would be an Anthony Jeselnik impression, but then I would have to write an Anthony Jeselnik
Joke.
Yeah. And that's the hard part.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start doing that joke on stage.
That's
It was very cool, very flattering.
that's so cool.
I wish I could do an impression of you. In my head, it's like in my head I can hear what a scream or like your building of a scream in a sketch would sound like.
Yeah.
But then when I try to produce it, it's like it's not even.
Yeah. I think it's
Guys, like I can't. It literally, and I hear it as it comes out. I go, no, that's not what I was going for.
yeah.
No. There's you know what I mean, where you
Maybe
when
that's
you
how
go
it
to your
sounds.
final
Yeah.
when you go to your final
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
there's a big high pitch to a lower.
Yeah. I don't know actually.
You don't know?
No, I could maybe if I did it, I could.
When you say rose, you say like in Titanic, you say like one like really high pitched rose.
Yeah. Do I? Or did I?
Did you?
Did I?
Did you? Well, this episode is mostly going to be our thoughts on Wicked.
Is it mostly going to be that?
I mean, we'll see. I gotta say, I'm on the record saying I saw the trailer and I said not into it.
Exactly.
I felt really skeptical.
You know-
Multiple reasons I feel skeptical. Trailer looked kind of.
I didn't love that. I didn't. I was really like not thinking I was going to enjoy it at all.
I also listen. Like you gotta. I remember listening to this album in my childhood bed in a high school. I was at my mom's house and just like loving it. And I've heard that music forever.
Yeah.
So when I hear music too much, I feel dread that I have to sit through the song again. Like I need a little bit of that. Where's it going?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
entered that level.
Well, and so it's interesting because Gianmarco, I always have assignments, and he said we're going to be talking about this today, 2 weeks ago, and I realized, I need to see this basically before it opened because I was going to be gone that whole time, and I just knew that if we're in Texas, it's not going to happen. I wouldn't see it. So I didn't know if it's allowed to be shown in Texas.
Sure.
But
That Pornhub thing comes on. Sherry DeVille's like, sorry, you can't see
I did
Wicked
have to
either.
click something. So I went and saw it the Thursday before it was opening that night, I guess. But like they show it. And I texted Gianmarco right after and I said, I regret to inform you that I really liked it. And you didn't believe me. You said you were like
I was
I was nervous too, because then you were going to see it, and I was like, maybe I just, but then I started seeing people really liked it. And I also was like, I just didn't want, I was like pre-fighting you about it. Like I was like doing that thing where like, if you were cynical about it, I was going to be like, actually, I just think they did a really good job. Like, and I was
when
like,
have we ever, I think one of the key threads of our relationship is similar taste. I know musically I'm just kind of broken with some music, but like when it comes to acting, when it comes to acting, there's rarely a time where you're like, that person's a great actor. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right. And I also think that I just was like, I think that all the stuff, I was like, I think it actually helped the whole thing a lot. There was so much stuff about being like, why are they doing 2 movies? And then I watched it and I was like, actually, I'm like very moved in a way that I wasn't when I've seen the show. Again, I saw the original. I loved it. Like
with Adina and Kristen.
I did, yeah. I saw the original. Wow. I saw it in the first few months. Yeah,
I saw Adina and whoever replaced Kristen, Jennifer something, I think.
But I went again recently to see our friend, and it's so it's so great. It's like they're doing a good job for a long running show too. They do a good job of like maintaining it and making it feel like it's not like
even though I was bowled over with how good this movie was, and it was not too long by any stretch of the imagination. Like all musicals, if you don't know musical theater, it's the second act. That's like where things go wrong.
Yeah.
People will go, the first act's great. It falls apart in the second.
There's more songs in the first act too
there's more bangers.
Hits, yeah.
And also like the second act doesn't have necessarily like every song is kind of like a consequence of people's actions. So there's not a fun kind of setting up. There's not a song with levity to it.
Yeah.
Every song in the second act has the weight of like everything's gone to shit.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the first one, you get that dancing through life. You get that what is this feeling?
Yeah.
And it's popular. And by the second, it's more just like everything's going to shit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like I'm always skeptical of musicals. The trailer didn't bowl me over. I think all the press is insufferable. Even if you put it in all the context of the world, like it does feel overwrought. But my biggest part that I think that I was allergic to, and it feels very similar to the Barbie movie, where the amount of branded content and the allowance that they let people use, the score and the actors, I do think it's lame. I think it's lame to see Cynthia Erivo in a Target commercial and like a guy's singing, and then she's there and she's like, this is how it actually goes. And she does the big finale riff of Defying Gravity for the Target commercial.
Yeah.
Let that be new to my ears. I don't want to hear that riff in the Target. Before the movie, they had a commercial. I think it was Nokia phones, and one was green and one was pink. And they like in phone voice sang For Good. And I was like, stop it. Stop it. You're making so much money. Are we ever going to go back to taste?
No.
In terms of like not trying to make every last penny possible to have to hear the song before the show in the theater?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
But who do you blame on that? I don't know whose fault that is.
I just think, but I think there's a degree of we've lost shaming. And we've talked about this with actors.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of branded content, like the Marriott Hotel has the branded, Starbucks has the branded, everything has the branded, and it's all using the characters. It just takes me out of it.
Yeah.
I think, like, again, like the Cynthia Erivo, like something I think about the fact that she is green in it, it made me go like I was in a more magical world. I wasn't seeing the person I'd seen on the interviews kind of being a little bit annoying. I was able to be like, release. But on the other hand, Jeff Goldblum, I think I need a break
from him,
from you, because I see you and I go, that's just Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Why is Jeff Goldblum here?
Yeah. I enjoyed him. I didn't, I just thought everyone was good. I feel like the director did such a good job. Like I was like, everyone's performance
Michelle?
is great. What do you mean? I mean, the singing, like that part never requires the singing.
But it's not just that it's better to have spoken it than if the singing was so.
Does not bother me. I feel like that part is always such a like that song is not a song. Do you know what I mean? Like you're like, it doesn't bother me.
But the way that she sang, it was like because she couldn't sing, the acting was weird in that moment.
Oh yeah, it didn't take me out. I don't know.
No critiques.
I honestly don't know. I don't know. I thought I really was like, here's again. It might be because the bar is low when it comes to a movie musical. We've seen such bad versions.
What's a bad one? What's one you hated?
I don't know. I didn't like. I don't know if hate is the right word for it, but like I remember I saw the Les Mis one, and I think maybe because they made such a big deal that they did this song takes live, which just annoyed me so much.
Weird. It's weird because I liked.
I don't know.
I
if
started taking
hated
voice lessons, and like he was like, "Who's that girl in Les Mis?" Ugh, and I was like, "Anne Hathaway," and he was like, "Yes," and I was like, "Oh, she made me weep."
No, she was great. No, she was great.
When they're shaving your head,
Yeah.
you got one take.
Yeah, she was
That's
great
stressful.
in that. Listen, I think what I'm thinking of, I think the feeling that I had when I saw Les Mis is that I'd been so long since I'd listened or watched Les Mis that when I was watching Les Mis, the movie, I was like, oh, I actually don't like Les Mis. Do you know what I mean? Like being like, I like some of the music. It's like good music, you know. But there's too much that happens in that show. You're like,
Well, I think the Wicked soundtrack, like, I honestly think now it has replaced in my mind, like, I like that soundtrack more than the original.
I like the additions. I was in the whole extension of when they do the Dancing Through Life and then they have the moment together dance. I was like so moved by that.
Oh my God. Well, I cried still seeing that on Broadway.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like, obviously a lot of people cried, but that
they did
moment,
like a longer, it felt like they really lived in it.
what if we did that? So Russell and I we're going on tour and we're trying to figure out a musical number. I think we're going to release the musical number we did for the last tour, make it public.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, why are we going to do it again? Let's fucking expand.
let's do
And I
different
want to
things.
do like a little choreography. Let's really like look at the what's the bigger show.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about what's a good musical number. Feel free to submit it in.
Submit it.
So we were looking at
Be a
falsettos.
duet.
What would I do? Which is like a very heavy duet. It's two male lovers. One's dying of AIDS. I think we could do it like sincerely, and it would be comedic in the sincerity in the context. We also, I thought after seeing Wicked, I was like, we could do it as this feeling, but I in the days since I go, even with the book choreography, it's just going to feel dated by that point.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a little choreography though. I think, the first moment we sing, there's a big whoa.
I mean, we could do For Good. We could get ahead of Wicked Part 2 and do For Good.
We could do For Good. We've talked about Suddenly Seymour. But then I got to worry about hitting that G every time, and I don't know if I'm ready to.
We might
be
have
stressed.
to adjust the key because if I'm doing it, too, we might.
Do you have a good falsetto?
An okay falsetto, yeah, but not like. It might be nice to kind of like see if we can figure out a
Pretty
key
low.
that works for both of us.
Suddenly Seymour standing beside.
Just because
Maybe
you
I
do
should
that
do it.
voice, you're just.
That's the key, though. That's the exact key.
Lift up your head.
Wrong key.
Wash off your mascara.
Wrong key.
How do you know?
I will bet my life that I know the key of the song.
Suddenly.
That's it. That's the key.
Was the one I was just in.
It was not. It was not. We will
Lift
go back.
up your head. Wash
Wrong.
off your mascara.
Wrong.
Here, take
Lift-
my Kleenex. Wipe that lipstick away.
That's Seymour, number
No,
one.
no.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
Seymour. No, she goes,
Suddenly.
please understand that I'm still
Still
strange
strange
and
and
frightened
frightened.
for
You're
losers
doing it down
like
the octave.
I have. That's where she sings it.
Please understand.
Suddenly Seymour. That's the key. Sing that.
I just did that.
Suddenly Seymour
That's
is
beautiful.
standing beside me.
Listen, I was in the key the whole time. We both have relative perfect pitch. I think we're
I
discovering.
have perfect pitch.
Okay, what other songs do you know that you have perfect pitch on? That I would
Test me. Go for it.
Well, I don't know. Yes,
Give me a song. Give me a musical theater song.
Okay. Let's do a song from Wicked because it's on our
Sure.
mind.
Go for it.
Let's do One Short Day.
One short day in the Emerald
I think you're
City.
right, yeah.
Keep going.
Okay.
Oh no, I'll go to you.
Okay.
I'll go to you.
Define Gravity.
With
Something.
you and I defying gravity.
It's hard for me to do it if it's at the start of something.
All right, can you do the riff? Can you do Cynthia's final the way that she does it?
No, I can't.
Oh, yes.
I think
go,
there's
yes.
probably a little more creative than that.
Oh, all right, Adina says, oh.
Yeah.
How would you do it? All right, that's how I think we should end this, the public part of this. How? With a real glide at the end?
Whoa.
See, I'm a sucker for like you go even higher. I'm a sucker for like No, I like it to end high.
Whoa.
You see, I even if it's hideous, I'm just like, wow, that was high.
Maybe change it instead of whoa. Ooh, wow, wow, wow.
Can you imagine?
Ooh, wow.
Can you imagine you go to see Wicked? You flew from you're a tourist.
Ooh, wow, wow, wow.
You've been saving up your money. And Dean goes, oh, whoa, 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 wow. Yes.
I liked that thing at the end too. You know, like the extra orchestration of like the, you know, in that at the end of the movie.
I think this second movie, I mean, I hope they have a plan.
They're adding songs. I think 2 songs.
That's tough.
I know it is tough.
I mean,
because sometimes
everyone thinks you can just add.
no
It's really
offense to
hard.
these-
Magic
no
struck.
offense to these composers. You know, composer Stephen Schwartz, obviously great composer.
Pippin.
Wicked,
But he wrote it.
Godspell.
He wrote it when he was hungry.
or hungrier. I mean, he already written Godspell.
I know, but it'd be like
20 years
hungry. Like
before.
he was still he's so
30
set.
years
Everyone
before.
respects. This is when he wanted to
40 years before.
They said Ariana Grande at least said that he came to her and said that he wanted to make like a hip hop version of Popular.
Yeah, no, I know.
Sing the right note.
Popular.
Okay.
I think I have relative pitch. I would never. I have to kind of know the song.
Give me one more. I like this game.
Let's go to Wicked. Let's do.
You know what? I've been thinking about theater adult segments.
Yeah, that's a fun segment.
That's a good segment.
That's a good segment.
That's a good segment.
You have to find someone that can do it with you.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to.
Would you want to do theater adult? I talked about it with Tova of just like, does it just muddle the podcast?
I
If it's
know.
like,
I agree. Let's wait for me to be a little more successful before we throw me on that too. You know. I'm trying to think of okay. Do you know Godspell?
depends on the song. Let me see because it'll be distant, but let me see if I can still do it.
Prepare ye.
Well, I know that because we did that in Uncle Function.
Okay, yeah. So
Prepare ye the way
Can I tell you-
of the Lord.
what I love about this, and I hope that we are right on all the pitches, but what I love about this is that we have the confidence of just being like, I think you're right. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we could be very wrong on all these. And
like tuning- we're like tuning
We're
a-
just being like, yeah, you're right.
yeah,
You're
that's
right.
it,
You're right.
that's
You're
it.
right. You're right. You're right. You got it, bud.
Okay, let me give you a bit of more of an interesting pull. Let's see. Les Mis, Phantom of the Opera. Do that. The Phantom of the Opera is there.
Ooh. I might not know that one. I was never a big Phantom guy, but I'm trying to think now. I can't hear it as much.
I'll give
as
you a
the
hint. I'll
others.
do her. That's the kind of suck at that in that where she goes at the end where she goes like, he goes, sing for me, sing for me. The Phantom of the Opera is there inside your mind. There was a guy who played that role for 15 years. I'd rather
Really?
kill myself than do that role.
Who did that for 15 years?
I believe it was someone who got in trouble for something
No,
too.
I know who that is.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know him.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know the story.
Sure.
I act like he's my uncle.
Well, so let me just say to tease you guys a little. We're gonna cut to the Patreon part now. We're gonna We're going to do this game for 45 more minutes. We're going to talk about our Thanksgivings.
Yes.
Some family stuff that I just do not. I really, with a Patreon, you really get this weird, like, different level of privacy until one day, like, someone's going to screen grab and post and I'll go, okay, we've lost that haven.
Yeah.
We got
to talk about
we're going to play
the sex tape.
the sex tape.
Yep. And then
You had a new accent you wanted to show me.
no, don't make jokes. We're being serious here.
Which sex tape were we talking about? Damn it.
Yeah, you ruined it.
We're going to make a sex tape.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about. I had something else. You're going to talk about your trip. I have some.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about Texas. I have some. Yeah, we had some. Texas.
It's fucking great. Listen,
Thanksgiving.
guys. Here's the thing. The last thing I'll say is, oh my god, I have this.
Oh, we do have gossip. I do have actual gossip.
Oh, we do have gossip. Okay. Okay, it's real.
No, it's real.
So here's the thing. Here's my plan because I'm going to LA for the first 3 months of next year. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a little bit of chaos in terms of like some episodes. My goal is to record an episode and then release it that week. We all know that's the goal. It's going to be tricky with LA, but I think when we come back from LA, that's what we're going to. I told this to Paige, and you told me what you think of this. I think it's like we do it Monday, we release it that week, and if there is the rare guest that is like huge that can't do that Monday. We just do a second episode. We don't fuck up the system. Yeah. We just record that. And if there's a second bonus episode, because I think it's exciting. I just like, this is fun to talk about what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. But for the meantime, the Patreon, this is how you do it. We recorded that like 4 days ago, this shit. This is coming out Saturday. We're recording this on Tuesday. Join the Patreon. It helps us out. We got a tour coming. It's a good time. Patreon.com/downside. And Patreon time.
You're listening to The Downside.
The Downside.
With Gianmarco Soresi.